see what my hands were doing in the last video. So we are going to show it a little bit better. And for those of you who've already seen my Facebook message, you'll know I'm at the Zeeland Farm Festival. And that is where the wheel is in the wild this week. And I'm going to show you guys just a little bit. About what was going on in my hands. So really what the wheel does is it provides twist into the wool, which causes it to be a strand. That strand is then, this adjustment here, that strand is then one of the 2 or 3 ply yarns. But as you can see, what's going on between my fingers is really just my keeping it uniform. For most yarns, you're going to want uniform. I will tell you that people who do art yarn will intentionally make it not uniform. And there are some really cool things you can do out there. I am not a very proficient art yarn person. I am more of the person who wants the beauty to come through the color, the blending, the various fibers, the sheen, etc. I prefer to spin uniform. But there are people out there who are very, very talented in the art of art yarn. And those are definitely people that you're going to want to follow if that is something that you're interested in. That's just not me, and it's okay. I am definitely a color enthusiast, but I want it to come through my yarn, not so much in the shape of the yarn, but in the blends and the various fibers. So what I'm doing in between my fingers is very, very simple. Basically, I am pulling fiber apart and trying to keep it as uniform as possible as it twists and it goes into that spool you see right there. Now again, eventually I will do some video on plying. I'll do it on all kinds of various forms of blending, etc. But you'll notice that when I start this wheel off, stop for a second. So I have 2 treadles down by my feet. You see that my feet are bare. It's easier on those treadles if I keep my feet bare. But what I'm going to do is to start those treadles, I'm going to move this wheel in a particular direction. The reason why is you want all of your spin to go in one direction and all of your ply to go in another. It is just how it works. And so I know which direction I'm spinning in, which is this. Make sure it goes that direction. When I ply, I will go the other direction. As you can see, I finally installed the distaff. You can't see a ton of it in this picture. It is not actually necessary for what I'm doing today. I am spinning wool, which does not need a distaff, although it's going to get a distaff because right now my wool is ground. But the distaff is super important if you are spinning flax. Now I am not spinning flax today. This wheel is designed to spin flax. It's not the only thing to spin, but it is one of the things I spin. And I have got some problem going on with my wheel here. Come on, baby girl. Oh, I know what's going on. I have to tighten it down a little bit. Alright, so for those of you, oh, that's exactly what's going on. Come on. She's just not tight. She got moved, and anytime you move them, it can be a little bit uneven for a minute. So for those of you who are watching this YouTube channel and going, oh my gosh, things happen. Yes, yes they do. There she goes. Now she's the way she should be. Most wheels, seriously, there are a few simple things. I wouldn't want to build one. I think they're complicated to build. But they are mostly simple when they're made up. And so don't be afraid if something starts to wobble. Chances are it just needs to be tightened somewhere. So, as I've said before, this is a Saxon style wheel. It's what everybody thinks of when they think of a spinning wheel because of the Disney version of Sleeping Beauty. And she is a very good wheel for spinning thin. Some wheels prefer to spin thin, some wheels prefer to spin something a little bit thicker. This one definitely prefers the thin. And for those of you who are like, man, this looks really, really relaxing. It is! That's why I do it. So one of the things that I love about it is it's very, very relaxing. And it is an old community craft that just not a lot of people do anymore. And I want to revive the interest in it for so many reasons. But many of those is because I think that I don't want certain parts to be lost, because there is an advantage to doing something yourself. You know, even if only you ever do it once. I would say I've made butter once. I wouldn't make butter every day, but being able to say you've done it and you know how to do it, there's an advantage to that. Milked a cow once. Not something I'm going to do every day. But again, it's something that it's a good thing if you know how to do it. Even if you never end up doing it again. You know the process that goes into what is made and what you prepare. And it helps for you to understand history. It helps for you to understand life. It helps for you to understand the privileges that we have in a day and age where all of our stuff can be bought in a store. Where it used to be everything had to be made by hand, and that's why they had so few things. It took time. It took a lot of time. But with that, also realize that if a friend gives you something handmade, chances are a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and love went into that. All right, so this is Wheel in the Wild for this week in the end of June. And I appreciate you all. Have a great one.